So for the Zhiyun, and this is the Zhiyun Smooth Coup, I have it on pan follow, which this allows me to follow an object by using the joystick. Okay, so it's kind of a free-floating mode. This mode that it's in, pan follow, which this is the default mode. Okay, so you're going to be able to do more maneuvering and pan follow. That's the default mode. That's the one that when you turn it off, you don't have to hit any buttons. It automatically goes into the pan follow mode, allowing you to use the joystick to go, let's say, to the right, to the left pan, up, and then of course down. Okay, this is all robot arm moving on the Zhiyun. Okay. Pan follow, it seems to be that the idea is to find a central focus. Possibly if something moves a little bit more, you can use that joystick. It does make a little bit of a noise. Okay. And it's not as good as the Movi Free Fly because it's going to bump a little bit into its own mechanism a little bit. But it's $100 cheaper than the Movi Free Fly, or actually it's $200 cheaper than the Movi Free Fly. I believe the Movi Free Fly can be up to $400. This one's only $130. So for $130, it's very stable. I am playing around with lock mode. And when I'm realizing lock mode, I think to get to lock mode from turning it on, you just hit the mode button one time. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you. Okay. Lock mode, I believe, is a single press from the default pan follow mode. Well, it may be a single press to get to the follow mode. Then another single press to get to the lock mode. So if I hit it again, I'm in lock mode there. It just adjusted itself and locked into this angle, okay, right here. So I can bring my hand up and it's gonna stay at that angle. Whatever I want to do with my hand here, it's gonna stay on this page. So I can just move my hand up and down. I'll show you. If you look in the mirror here, it's actually kind of hard to see what my hand is doing, but you can kind of see here in the mirror, but it's stuck in one position. That's meaning it's in lock mode. So I've locked onto my target on what I'm wanting to basically view, what I want to record, and that's called lock mode. Now, how do we get off lock mode? Well, we can double click or double press mode to go back to follow mode. 1, 2. Now we're going back to a follow mode. Okay, and we're following a device. Okay, so let's see how we can get back from follow mode to pan follow mode. Because see, I'm hitting the joystick here, and the only thing that I'm getting when I'm hitting the joystick, and I don't know if this is with all the designs or just the smooth cue, is I'm getting a Dutch angle, which is actually quite nice. And this is something I heard about the Zhiyun, that it actually has a Dutch angle. Okay? And this is really actually kind of cool. Now, it's not going to 360 Dutch angles. So the Movi Fly probably does. Okay, so we're on, I believe, pan follow. And we're trying to get back to pan follow mode. And I believe that's going to be another single press. Yes, okay. So I'm back to pan follow mode. You're gonna have to use the joystick to, and I have the guard actually on the phone, and I can take this off, which is gonna make it lighter. I've kept the guard on. I balanced it with the guard on. You can see the guard right here on the actual phone. Okay, it's actually on there. You don't have to use the guard. It's lighter and more maneuverable without it. But for time's sake, or just for convenience, I found a way just today to not have to use the guard. Now this may require additional balancing because the phone is a little bit heavier with a guard. I'm using an otter to guard or to protect a defender. Okay, now let's see if we can tap 3 times and do a 180, okay? Let's see what we can do. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, I'm stuck in a Dutch angle right now. And that's probably because I'm using the guard. But I'm going to see what happens, see if it rights itself. 1, 2, and 3. Takes a moment. Okay, so probably in order to do that smoothly, there it goes, I'm gonna need to take off the guard. Okay, I'm stuck in a Dutch angle right now, and that's only a balancing issue. So I can turn this off and rebalance. Okay, turning off, it's gonna change. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is rebalance. I believe it's still recording. Now, what I like about the fact that it doesn't work with the Bluetooth is that it's still recording, even though the robot arm is turned off. So I'm still recording, but with the Bluetooth device being connected, I would not be able to do that. So because it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do, it's actually an advantage. With the iPhone, it's probably going to connect with the Bluetooth, but you can always disconnect with the Bluetooth. So that's always an advantage. The iPhone is good, and I have a feeling that it will work with the iPhone. Okay, so I'm rebalancing. It doesn't have to be perfect on balancing. It just has to work. So balancing is just like basically walking a tightrope. You're using the bar, and don't adjust the back here unless you want to change from portrait to regular. Do not adjust the back. That's not a balancing device. That will trick you. So if you learn anything, don't mess with this part back here unless you want to change from portrait to regular mode. You want to do the balance with this one. See how that does a U? This is the balancing bar. It's the only balancing bar in the device. Okay, so I'm sitting down to balance while it's turned on, trying to balance again. It's very difficult. Now I'm going to aid it with my thumb. See where my thumb is? Because I have the guard on it. So I'm pressing 1002, 1003. There it goes. Now it's balanced. So you have to work with it to get the balance. It's not just pop it in and go. It's a mechanical device. Okay. Now I haven't done anything. This is pan follow mode. It's almost, it feels like the pan follow mode. It is going to tilt back and forth. Okay, so here's a new lesson. This is what I think happens. Okay, so the pan follow mode basically does what I call a tilt. You can see it tilt here. Okay, so we have tilting up and tilting down for the Zhiyun smooth coup. Okay, that's going to be in the pan follow mode. Okay, so we're going to be able to follow things, but we're going to be able to tilt or pan up and down. Tilt up and down. Now I'm going to tap it one time. Boom, I tapped it once. I'm going to be able to pan back and forth, left and right. Okay. Now, anytime what I've noticed is you can pan left and right using the joystick, which is this thing right here. Okay. And you can go up and down like this. That's hitting the mode one time. Now I'm going to lock it, or actually I'm going to go back to pan follow. I tapped it once. I cannot pan back and forth. Okay? I can only tilt back and forth. That is pan follow mode. I think what pan follow mode means is that you're already going to follow. You're going to tilt up and down here. You're going to be able to follow and have a central kind of movement, and you're going to be able to tilt to get a better angle of the person. This is good for tracking. A tracking shot here and moving back here. And you really don't have to do a whole lot of balancing. Of course, I've had a movement training. I can do some of this without the gimbal because I understand isolation. But the gimbal is really an isolating device. It's isolating movement robotically. With really, you can focus more on your own movement, and you don't have to focus on your hand movement as much. It's almost like without the gimbal, you have to play the drums a little bit with your body. Meaning you have to watch what your feet do, what your hand does, so you don't get the jiggling. With the gimbal, that problem goes away, and you can focus more on the art of what you're doing. Okay. Now, what I like about, I believe maybe it's follow mode, and that's 2 taps. Is this Dutch angle? I guess you could call it. Maybe this is lock mode. I'm still playing with it, trying to figure it out. But that's 2 taps from the default mode. That's definitely a Dutch angle. Okay, I'll show you from here what it's doing. You can see it obviously turning this way, and that's going into a Dutch angle. To go back where I was, I tap once. Now I'm back. Back to tilt and pan. And that, no, actually I'm in pan follow now. Anytime it just tilts up and down, that's pan follow. So I hit once, and now. Okay, so this is your most maneuverable right here, which I call pan follow. So you can pan to follow. Turn the joystick here to the right. I'm moving with the device here. I can turn the device here, and you can start getting used to the device by using the joystick. It's kind of like flying a plane. You pull down on the joystick, you go down. You pull up, well, I guess the opposite would be a plane. I don't know, I've never flown a plane, but I'm pushing up on the joystick and it's going up. So I guess it's the same as maybe modern planes. I don't know. Forget that whole statement. But you push up and it goes up. You push down and it goes down. You push to the left and it goes to the left. You push to the right and it goes to the right. Okay? Push up, it goes up. You push down, it goes down. You push to the right, it goes this way. And you push this way, it goes that way. Okay? Another cool thing is you've got some 360 action. Okay? Here. almost kind of going into a Dutch angle here. It's kind of a little askew here. So this probably works better without the guard. I'm just putting the guard on there for right now. And you may have to stop and readjust if you're using a guard. I've noticed last night I didn't use a guard and it was much lighter. Here's some other features about it. Of course, the carrying case looks like a little miniature violin case. It's got a charging cable that's in there that you can take out. You can charge the side of it, which is right under here, or charging on the side of it here. Charge there. Either way. Another thing too is you can actually use the charge down this way up to here to charge the device as you're using it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm still at a Dutch angle here. I kind of wish the Bluetooth would have worked. This is weird because I'm hitting. The Bluetooth is slightly working. It just did. You can tell if the Bluetooth slightly works if you press this button. Let me see. Oh, I'm in lock mode. There we go. Okay. So if you press this button right here, see it. Let me go to 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Selfie. Okay. So you have. I'm trying to figure out how to show you guys with the gimbal. I only can through the mirror. I'm looking at a mirror. Now let me go back. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and that turn there. If you're at a Dutch angle, you can. I'm at follow mode. So anytime you start moving and it's staying at the same thing, I think that could be lock mode. So you have 3 of them. This is what I think pan follow mode is, because you can pan and follow. So you hit it once. No. You tap it twice. 1, 2. Yeah, and you're going to go into follow mode. So you're going to follow. Wherever you go, it's going to follow, and the same thing. Locking mode from here would be a single press. So you lock it into this area. So if you're shooting something right here, you're locked into this angle no matter where you go. So let's say one, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. One. There it goes. Okay. And it'll right itself. It just did right then. So you can actually move the whole thing right here to right itself. It is a robot arm, so it does have some AI. So if you're stuck in a Dutch mode, okay, which right here it's pan follow. You can actually right itself by turning it a little bit and guide it. Let's see, let's go to 1. Okay, yeah, that is I believe follow mode. Then we can lock it again by, I believe, double pressing. No, it's a single press, and that goes into lock. So lock means it's going to stay in that position. It's going to lock in that position. So let's say I was locked in on this. I can move. Now, I don't know if this has the AI that will lock onto the face. Because that's kind of doing it a little bit. Because it doesn't completely connect with the Bluetooth for the phone. So really what you're doing, the iPhone might do it, but really what you're doing is you're still having to use your own movement, your own ideas of movement. And the stabilization is there. And you can still use the joystick to control it. So it does have a more smooth feel. But since the Bluetooth doesn't work with the Samsung 8, it's not getting the complete AI with the phone. That would mean that you can do it with the joystick to get the complete AI, the artificial intelligence. So some of the gimbals will lock onto an object. So let's say if this mask moved and went over in this direction, it would lock on and move with the face. See? It's going to lock on and move with the face. Let's say, I'm trying to think of another object. Here's one. A globe. Okay? So let's say you locked onto the object and the AI did work completely. Okay? You wouldn't have to use the joystick to turn and follow like I just did right there. I have to use more brain power because my Bluetooth doesn't connect with it. It does a little bit because I use the widening and it moved a little bit. So it's a little bit connected in there. Oh, there it goes. It started to move a little bit with it. So if this was the device here, okay, it would lock onto it and move with it as the object would move. It would follow it robotically. Okay? Kind of like it's doing right now. I'm actually doing that with the joystick. So yes, I can follow things, but I have to use the joystick. And that joystick is probably there for that very sake. That some phones won't follow a device. This is kind of trying to do it. The Samsung 8 is trying to do it. There might be an update with the Samsung 8. And I believe the Samsung 9 probably does connect. I know the iPhone 10 would, and other iPhones probably would connect. What's really cool about the Bluetooth device connecting, and I'll have to readjust. I'm going to show you how you can readjust it. Here I'm readjusting it here. It's on lock mode. There it goes. Okay. So it is readjusting now. Okay. So if your Bluetooth is actually going to work, and I'm going to have to do pan follow to do this. There it goes. I'm on pan follow now. Okay. You're going to have a device right here. It's a joystick. Now you have a thing right next to the joystick which has a W on it, which means wide. And the T obviously is the opposite of Y. Of wide, sorry. So the W is wide, okay, which is down here. You can zoom and go wider or zoom in on the T if you hit the T. For some reason, I don't know why, but I forgot what the T stands for. I'll look it up later. The W stands for wide, so you can do a wide zoom. The T probably may mean track, going in, possibly. Let's see if I can show. Another thing too is you can do a 360. Okay, I'm doing a 360 now with the robot arm. And you can tilt. So you can tilt it all the way up, do kind of like a Dutch angle here, and turn it 360 here, which is kind of cool. and then you can pull it back this way. So my battery is running down because I've been using the phone, experimenting. So I'm gonna upload this. So there's a lot to learn with this thing. My suggestion to people that get it is go out to a park. Like I said, you can balance it with an otter. Don't use a live otter animal. I suggest to use a defender, which is a plastic device called an otter. Don't go out and pick up a live animal that's an otter and try to balance it or anything like that. I don't want you to get literal with this, because PETA might get upset. We want to leave the otters alone. But anyway, this is a really cool thing. You can go to the park, spend the day following things. And the Movi, which is the free fall, does even more. And it probably connects with more phones too. The Bluetooth is probably more accessible. Okay, so this is the Zhiyun Smooth Q. It's the newest version, and it has a more economical handle. The handle can be extended too. This is another cool thing right there. That handle can be extended and put onto a tripod, which is really neat. So you can use it as a tripod. I have another tripod, which is a quick access tripod. This is kind of showing you one of the tripods I have. And this is only because I went to a really cool Japanese store and got a few cool kind of tripods that I can use for table shots and things like that. That's one that'll hold the phone at a portrait mode. That's just a small tripod. I also have one that you can wear if you want to wear one around the neck. And then I have another tripod that's a more professional tripod. Of course, it's not like $1,000 tripod or anything, but it is a tripod that extends and can stand. And I can use this little red guy right here to connect to a bigger tripod that'll be about like this high. All right, so let me turn this on here. Turn it facing me. I actually used the joystick. I didn't hit it 3 times. If you hit the mode 3 times, it'll get into this position. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. This is advertising the Smooth Q, which is the Zhiyun product. It's the first gimbal I ever saw on YouTube. I thought it was really cool. Oh, one more thing too. If you have the Bluetooth that works, you can start and stop the camera by pressing the button. I just turned the robot off. Whee!